November 5th Public Council meeting for the town of Conception Bay South, and we'll start this meeting as we do with all of them with our land acknowledgement. The town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nutassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. First order of business is adoption of the meeting agenda for November 5th, which is tonight, moved by Councillor Barrett, seconded by Councillor Butler. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Am I expecting to see a vote pop up? Okay, well, I'll wait for that. There it comes. There we go. Okay, there we go. And moving on, adoption of the meeting minutes from the last meeting, moved by Councillor Connors, seconded by Deputy Mayor Goss. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. And we will wait for that to happen, will we? Okay, all right. Business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with at this meeting and meetings in the future, and visitors, presentations, and petitions. And we have some visitors with us this evening, and the first visitor I'm going to call upon is Amy Way, and Amy is with NavCare, and we have a number of seniors in our community that look for different types of supports, and NavCare is one of those organizations that offers senior supports in the way, and I'm going to get you, come right up here with me, Amy. Yep. And NavCare is an organization that helps seniors connect with people that can help them, and company and so forth. And I'm not going to talk any longer. I'm going to let you explain it because I know you know it intimately. So tell us a little bit about NavCare and what you're looking for from Conception Bay South and what's happening here.
Thank you very much. So NavCare was a program that is new to Newfoundland, but it's not new to Canada. It has been in Canada in British Columbia and Alberta for about 20 years. I started with this position in January and started recruiting clients and volunteers in March. So the basis of the program are we find volunteers, we train them, and we find clients in the community with declining health. So these are clients that have, their trajectory is life-limiting with their diagnosis, and we find volunteers, we train them, and we match them with these clients to help them stay in their homes longer. They don't want to hear anything about palliation, they don't want to hear about hospitalization, they want to stay in their homes. So me being in a hub, I'm the first hub in Canada to be under a healthcare authority, so I am associated with NLHS, and that gives me kind of a streamline to social workers, community health nurses, so we get to have our clients avoid the tangle of trying to get through the process of the healthcare system. And I apologize for anyone that's in the system looking down on me right now, but we all know that it happens. So you call a number and it says press 7, and then it press 6, and then press 2, and the seniors are saying, I don't understand. So if we can have a volunteer match with them that says, okay, let me do that, let me get you through this process, and then we'll move forward from there. It's just that little bit that makes that senior a little bit more comfortable. I found so many barriers for seniors that you don't recognize. The new parking systems, the QR codes that you have to scan. Nope, people won't leave their home because they don't know how to scan a QR code. And fair enough. So we train our volunteers to go out with these people and help them be comfortable in the community with the new technology that's happening and help them bring the community into them. They could just want someone to sit and have a cup of tea with them and play a game of cards. So be it. If it's that little bit that's going to make their day a little bit happier, then that's what NavCare is here to do. We don't do home care, we don't do personal care. There are establishments out there that do that. We are here to fight the barriers of isolation and we want to get social integration happening in their lives again. And all the client referrals, they don't have to come from a physician or any kind of health professional. Clients can self-refer. Neighbors have referred clients, friends have referred clients. that's fine. It all comes to me. I am the face of NavCare for Newfoundland. So if you call any of the contact information, you're going to get contacted with me, or get connected with me, sorry. Volunteers that come in, they're all onboarded as an Eastern Health or NLHS volunteer. So we go through the vulnerable sector check of the RNC screening and TB testing, and then they do the specific online module training for NavCare, and they're taught how to deal with emotional situations and deal with even family members that could be a little disgruntled or disagreeing about mom or dad's trajectory. And I'm always really close with the volunteers to help them I'm literally at an arm's reach. I always have my phone so that they can easily contact me, and I can help them with any barriers that they get to.
So Amy, you're here because we have clients in Conception Bay South that are looking for those volunteers. So you're looking for volunteers at Conception Bay South that would come forward and sign up with NavCare, go through the security and so forth, and then be able to help the residents that here in Conception Bay South that are looking for that help.
Yes, that is literally why I'm here. It is my plea for volunteers. There are seniors in your community that are sitting in their homes that have reached out and said, I want help, I want your help. And I'm like, okay, but I need the volunteers to come forward so I can train them and get them out in the community as well. So spread the word. That's basically what I'm after tonight, is spread the word that NavCare is here. We want to help. We're willing to help. Just say the word, and please come forward with your volunteer willingness. I'll be happy to have you.
Okay. Well, Amy, thank you very much for coming, and we'll, of course, share the information through our social media and the posting tonight. And we've got some local media in the back there. They might be interested in this program as well and telling the residents a little bit more about it. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, Amy. Okay. The next item up is proclamations, and we have, believe it or not, a Radon Action Month proclamation. And we've been pretty proactive about radon in the past few weeks here in Conception Bay South, and for absolute good reason. So Radon Action Month is November. So whereas November is Radon Action Month in Canada, and whereas Health Canada encourages Canadians to test their homes for radon, and whereas radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer in non-smokers, leading to the deaths of more than 3,200 Canadians each year, and whereas radon is an odorless, tasteless, invisible radioactive gas that can easily enter homes undetected through cracks and gaps in the floors and walls that are in contact with the ground, and whereas all homes and buildings have some level of radon, the only way to know how much is to test. And whereas radon can be detected using a simple and inexpensive test, which is available from the town online at select local retailers or from certified radon professionals. Therefore, I, Mayor Darren Bent, do hereby declare the month of November 2024 as Radon Action Month in the town of Conception Bay South. And I'm not sure, Deputy, do you have more information about tests a little later, or is that someone else, or should I do that now? There it is, Councillor Hillier. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we've got our program up and running again this year, and Councillor Hillier will give you some details a little later this evening. And the last proclamation that I have, very proud to have members from CBS Legion Branch 50 with me this evening, and come on up here. I want to ask First Vice President Mo Keeping and Chair of the Poppy Campaign. Right up, guys. Ralph Parmenter, of course, Ralph has been chair of the Poppy Campaign. You can come right up here with me.
Way before my time.
Way before your time, yeah. Maybe before mine as well, I'm not sure. But it's great to have you gentlemen here, and of course, this past week I visited Branch 50, and we did the official signing to kick off the Poppy program here in Conception Bay South, and hopefully the program is going well. So I'm going to read it here at Public Council for everyone, and then we'll ask you to let us in on a little bit about the Poppy program and what it means to the Legion, and especially the Legion here in Conception Bay South, and to the members. So, whereas the purposes and objects of the Legion as contained in the Act to incorporate the Legion, changed a number of times through 1980 and 81, include perpetuate the memory and deeds of the fallen of those who die and those who die in the future, to promote and care for memorials to their valor and sacrifice, to keep an annual Memorial Day, to preserve the records and memorials of their service, and to see that such service shall not be forgotten by the nation, to educate public opinion regarding the national duties to the dead, and to foster loyalty among the public and educations in the principles of patriotism, duty, and unstinted public service. And whereas every person who has been initiated into membership in the Royal Canadian Legion has sworn to uphold and advance the aims and objectives of the Legion, and whereas the Provincial Poppy Remembrance Committee has recommended that the observance of a remembrance period immediately prior to November 11th would do a great deal to encourage greater interest on the part of the public, and whereas by decree of caucus of the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador fully support the Legion's efforts to promote remembrance by flying the Legion's flag of remembrance from November 1st to November 11th each year, know ye that we, by and with the approval of the Provincial Command of the Royal Canadian Legion, do designate the 11 days commencing November 1st and ending November 11th as Remembrance Period. And we do recommend to all loyal members of the Royal Canadian Legion and to all other citizens of the town of Conception Bay South, Remembrance Period is a time for each one of us to reflect and recall to mind the sacrifices made by our veterans to ensure the peace we now enjoy, and that the poppy is a symbol of remembrance, peace, and hope for the future. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming in this evening for the Poppy Proclamation, and I would encourage all residents of Conception Bay South that when they're out around and see the poppies and the can there to donate, to do so. And if I could ask you to just tell me what the importance is of donating and showing your poppy this time of year.
So basically, with every donation you make through the Poppy Corporation, it takes the pressure off a lot of the veterans, like myself and Ralph, been overseas a few times. I know I have.
I haven't.
Right? So, like, dealing with PTSD, basically any other situations that comes with that, like financial problems, house support, getting somebody in to do renovations to help a veteran get in and out of his house. That basically, any other thing
It supports the families of the vets. And,
supports the families.
Support for the families, and of course, the donations that go into the Poppy plan stay with the Legion in the area, and you're able to use them to help local veterans here.
Yes.
And just tell me, with regards to the Poppy program, you have them out to a number of places, and I understand you go to the schools locally as well.
So, speaking from the schools, I'm after doing 3 today. So, one tomorrow, and another 2 on Thursday, another one on Friday. Basically, just to see the kid's face. This is when we walk in and recognizing the troops, that it puts a smile on your face. Basically, one of those things is a lot of people don't realize a little smile from a kid brightens your day throughout the day.
Yeah.
So that's half the reason why I love going to schools. I couldn't do it before. I suffer from PTSD myself. So basically, going to schools or anything like that took a really bad toll on me. And I mean, Ralph has been here so much longer than I have, and he's been doing an amazing job with what he does with the community. I know him and Dave Strickland are back and forth there every day and every night, picking up cans, dropping off cans, and
It doesn't happen by magic. There are people there are people on the ground doing those things, yeah. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in for this, and thank you again for having me into the Legion to do the proclamation. And just want to reiterate to people that, donating to the Poppy program helps the veterans. It supports the people that have given so much to help us and to protect us. And I also want to say thank you for you and your work of getting our veterans into our schools so that our young people can hear from you firsthand, about your experiences, and so that they have a better understanding. And then, of course, they will be able to pass that along, and it'll continue for all of us. And lest we forget, will be true. So thank you very much.
No, I'd like to thank the Mr. Mayor, Mr. Deputy Mayor, and the councilors, and special guests. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks. All right. Okay, it's always great to have members from CBS Legion Branch 50 join us during the remembrance period. Okay, we are going to move on to new business, and that business goes around the table, and we'll start with Deputy Mayor Goss this evening, and you can lead us off for the evening.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. I just want to make mention on October 23rd, we hosted our Bright Business Achievement Awards for 2024, where we celebrate local business excellence. And this was our 13th annual Bright Business Awards, and what a great event it was. It was the first time that we had this event in the evening. We always held it at lunchtime and had a business luncheon awards. So this was our first time, and it was what a great evening we had. We had a full house, record number of nominees. It was a really wonderful evening. I want to say congratulations to all of the nominees and the finalists. I want to also make mention of our sponsors, because without the sponsorship and the community support, such events are not possible. So I want to thank TD Canada Trust, BDC, Cabot Community Business Development Corporation, the Downtown CBS, and the Conception Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. All together with our staff, the staff of the town of Conception Bay South, came together a absolutely amazing evening. And I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everybody that was involved, put an extra thank you out to our staff who put together such an amazing evening. It was a huge success. The feedback from the business community, the people who they just felt like it was a fantastic evening. They really enjoyed having that relaxing kind of an evening when we had it as a lunchtime event. Everybody had always kind of watching their watches because they have to get back to work. So this was council's decision to make this into an evening event, and it was the right decision. It was a huge success. So it was number 13, lucky number 13, a wonderful evening, and we look forward to doing this again next year. So that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Goss. Yes, I'm sorry I missed it this year, but one of the things that is really nice is to see the diversity of the nominations that came in this year from different types of businesses, and it's just great to see the business community here grow, and I believe it's wonderful to give our residents the opportunity to say thank you to the businesses that they appreciate the most, and so a great evening, of course. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, just a couple of items. Just want to reiterate what Deputy Mayor just said about Small Business Week, and certainly our awards event last week. She commented on the number of nominees. There were 10 new businesses nominated, which I think we need to celebrate as well. I had the pleasure of presenting to Shenanigans Bar and Grill the Community Pride and Partnership Award, and so I want to congratulate them again, and certainly congratulate all the other winners and all those that were involved. And Your Worship, the other event I guess we had last week was the Seniors Halloween Party. A grand event, and just as it always is, because of the people involved, our staff who run it, and all the people who come out to take part. But this year, I just want to recognize a group that sponsored it. They paid for the tickets. They had staff on site to help with serving the meals, and it was a delight to have them there. And that's the neighborhood adult program from Bishop's Gardens. Now, Bishop's Gardens is the facility that exists where the old Bishop's College once did on Mary Meeting Road, I guess, no, Pennyhill Road, Pennyhill Road. And it's part of the Penny Group of companies. So I just want to thank them for all of their input in that, and just say what a wonderful event we had. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. Just to reiterate what was mentioned about Business Awards, it was a great event. We probably should be doing this at night time into evening long before now, and it went over really well, even if somebody did screw up who really owns Joshua the goat. And you're looking at me with a bewildered face, but you'll hear the story somewhere along the line. I just wanted to mention...
Joshua didn't mention it to me when I saw him on Sunday, so.
Oh, he don't know who, but someone did. The Premier's Athletic Awards, just wanted to mention those. A number of athletes from CBS were awarded an award the other day. I'm not going to read them all off, but there was, I did want to mention one in particular. The person received the inaugural Michelle Healy Memorial Award, and Michelle was a well-known, very respected friend of everybody, athlete and everything throughout the province, and this resident of Conception Bay South won that, and that was Zoe Rowe. So for those who know Zoe, anyone who's been involved in sports probably know her. She's an all-around athlete. She's involved with, I coached her in hockey and in ball hockey, and so it was, she excelled at those sports as well, and basically anything that she went at, but soccer is really her thing. She's playing with the Memorial Seahawks. She was MVP of the team last year, and she won some other awards last year, I don't know that. But beyond that of her achievements, Zoe, she's deeply committed to volunteering for things such as Easter Seals. I think she's still volunteers with the Soccer Association and the MUN Biochemistry, so she's all around a great young adult here in our town. She was recognized when she became a Rhodes Scholar finalist, and was honored with the 2023 winner of the Atlantic University Sport Community Service Award for her exceptional volunteer work. So I think that's a great award. It's a memory of a great person, Michelle Healy, and to be the first winner of that award was a great job. So I want to send out a big shout out to Zoe Rowe.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. I was talking to Zoe over the last couple of days, and typical Zoe, she wanted a little bit of field time, see if she could hone up her skills. So I suspect that Zoe Rowe is honing her skills for maybe some sort of a professional soccer career, because she is definitely above and beyond in this province, and her hard work and natural skill are incredible. And yes, like you said, she was a finalist as a Rhodes Scholar last year, which is another something else that says a lot about who this person is, and to win the Michelle Healy, the inaugural Michelle Healy Award, it's just tremendous. So thank you for highlighting that. Councillor Hardy.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. Echo my fellow councillors about the Community Business Awards. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend this year with prior commitments, but I certainly heard lots of great things, had lots of good social media on it, lots of great pictures, and also heard about Joshua. So I think poor Councillor Connors will never live that one down. Just a couple of things now. So we did see Joshua on Sunday again at Giver on the River. Another fabulous event. Like, I have to say, to see the energy Sunday mornings, rain, shine, whatever, everyone shows up for this community event. We had teams participating together in the 3-kilometer run. We had families participating in the 5-kilometer run, strollers, moms, dads, nans, and pops. It was a really well put off event. So big kudos and shout out to all of the volunteers for the Giver on the River. And another event that our volunteers are going above and beyond again is the pumpkin stroll, the annual pumpkin stroll. Our family went down to that, and there was over 1,500 people attended that event, and there was over 1,000 carved pumpkins. It was absolutely amazing. Besides just seeing the amount of people in attendance with the choirs and stuff, just to see the talent that the CBS residents have and how creative they get in their pumpkin carving. I think our family has already taken some pictures to see if we can replicate for next year. So just a big shout out to everyone involved in those two activities, because without those things, it just helps us grow our community culture here. So certainly very proud to be part of the town of Conception Bay South. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Yeah, I think that the pumpkin stroll, I think people are competing each year. They're looking at it and going, maybe I can improve on this one, or I can do that one, because it's incredible. Really, it's artistic excellence, and a big shout out to the CBS Community Garden for pulling that together, and the staff. And I know I think some of our recreation people are involved in helping get the pumpkins around. So it's great stuff for sure. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Kudos once again, to reiterate what everybody was saying, to all the nominees and winners of the Bright Business Awards. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but certainly a patron of a number of the businesses. Frequented one today even, and so that's
I was going to ask,
I
Councillor
did,
Barrett,
yeah,
looking rather dapper today.
Bearded Dragon Barbershop, so they were nominated again for a couple categories, so didn't win, but she's up again next year, hopefully, so we'll see. I should also mention, I guess one of the reasons why I wasn't around and I missed last council meeting was because I was in Ontario. I finished my PhD program, PhD in Rural Studies at the University of Guelph. It was actually the time of the council meeting was actually the time I was crossing the stage. It was kind of funny, but appreciate all the support over the past few years for residents and council and staff here as well. And it's great to get that behind me. So thanks for that, and thanks for the support. And the last thing I'll say, a bit of a theme of the evening, I did, with reference to the Poppy campaign, we are partnering with the Legion again with a Remembrance Day service at the Monument of Honor on November 11th. The parade starts from Sobeys at 10:15, marching to Town Hall, and certainly encourage folks, if you're able to make it out Monday morning, join us. It's always a great event to highlight, so please keep that in mind, and please keep showing your poppies if you're able to. So that's it for me right now. Thanks, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Pretty well, everybody's already mentioned what's on my list, but I'm, of course, going to say something. Quick congrats to all our Bright Business Award nominees and winners. We have a wonderful town. The businesses here, they work together well, and we have a great economic development group here in the town, and we all work together and to improve and to increase the business in our community. The Seniors Halloween Social, I wasn't at it, and I'm so disappointed I wasn't at it. Of course, as you all know, I'm normally here. But Councillor Hilliard did advise me that it was a great time, as he had mentioned earlier, and I did see the pictures on the town page, and lots of wonderful costumes and lots of decorations. I see all these balloons and everything, nice decorations. And I know the Recreation Department was in the spirit this year too. They dressed up as Joshua and a few of the others, and they had great costumes and were right in the spirit. And thanks to all the volunteers that were at the Seniors Halloween Social, because we can't do it without you. And Councillor Connors mentioned the Premier's Athletics Awards, and I was going to mention the other 6 awards to the residents of CBS. Congrats to Zoe on her inaugural Michelle Healy Award. But I will say that I got them here, so I'm going to read them out. Molly Gill, ball hockey. Haley Ryan, ball hockey. Katie Locke curling, Jonathan Flynn skating, James Travers swimming, and Brandon Joy for parasport blind hockey. So congratulations to all of them. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Butler, and I will note that Councillor Tilley is with us this evening. He's logged in from somewhere else, and he's indicated that he is not doesn't have anything to contribute this evening at this time. So I'm just going to say a couple words. And look, you know, so many times when we do this, we talk about how our staff go above and beyond, and the work that they do is you know, incredible, and really looking out for the interests of the town, the residents, of course, and we try to highlight their efforts as much as we can, because you know what it's like. It's some of the times the jobs are a little thankless, and sometimes they have to put up with a little grief and so forth. But we appreciate the effort that they put in, and we try to recognize them when we can. And I just want to highlight a special recognition for one of our staff, one of our senior staff this evening, something that doesn't come along, well, I suppose every maybe 75 years or so, but we have a recipient of the King's Coronation Medal among us here this evening, and that is our Fire Chief, John Heffernan, who was awarded the medal. And I believe, John, that happened maybe a month or so ago that you received the medal, the King's Coronation Medal, yeah. And let me just tell everybody, this medal is, to be eligible for it, you've had to have made a significant contribution to Canada or to a particular province, territory, region, or community in Canada, or attain an outstanding achievement abroad that brings credit to the country, or have, and I like this one, or have been alive at the time the king was coronated. So you have accomplished both of those, and I know that the recommendation for the King's Medal came from the Canadian Association of Fire Chiefs, and to me, that's the best compliment you can have, is your peers see you as someone worthy of such a high honor, and I'm very pleased to do it. So congratulations, Chief Heffernan, on being awarded the King's Coronation Medal. I just have a couple other things. I just want to say it was an absolute honor to take part in the Kids Eat Smart telethon this year, because we had a tremendous show of support for donations at our Rib Fest event that held in August, and we picked a couple of charities to support, and of course we picked charities to support our community and our school and our children, and Kids Eat Smart were one of them. So from the donations from residents and people that attended Rib Fest, we donated $3,000 on behalf of them, and our own youth advisory committee held a car wash and raised another $350. So we presented Kids Eat Smart with $3,350 at the telethon. I believe that was last week. And just a great organization. I was out to Topsail Elementary a couple of weeks ago, and through the support of Kids Eat Smart, volunteers, parents, grandparents, friends of the school, and teachers were making fresh smoothies right on the spot, and we were delivering them to each of the classrooms. And that's just a tremendous way to have our young people start their day. It was nutritious treat like that, and of course it's all through Kids Eat Smart. So it was a real pleasure on behalf of the residents for council to support this great initiative and the work that they do. And yeah, and I just want to say finally, the Giver on the River was it was an early cold Sunday morning, but it was sunny, and the smiling faces kind of said it all. I think somebody said it, I think we're becoming the running capital of Newfoundland and Labrador with the success of the half marathon, and 300 out for the Giver on the River. It was a great morning, and great to be down there with our sponsors. Tim Hortons are always there. Calvin Randolph Wealth Management was there, and of course the Manuels River people did a great job with that as well, and it was great. And I know Councillor Moores, she's always a huge supporter of Giver on the River, and one of the I think founding organizers, and it's too bad she's not here for that, but it was a great event. It was a pleasure to be there. So that's it from me. So we'll move on to the people's business, and that's recommendations of the Planning and Development Committee, and we always start there. And I believe Councillor Hillier, you are lead on this week.
I am lead by default, I guess you could say. My committee is falling around me.
You've done it before.
But I have done this before. Yes, Your Worship, these come from our last, recommendations come from our last planning committee meeting. Number 6A, 1168 Conception Bay Highway. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.32 of the town's development regulations, application number 4405 received on July 19, 2024 for a 44.6 square meter accessory building garage at 1168 Conception Bay Highway be refused in consideration that the cumulative lot coverage of accessory buildings would exceed the lot coverage of the dwelling on the property. So moved.
We have a seconder. Councillor Butler, any discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, just that given it is a fairly large lot, and because of the size of the lot, those are the regulations that we go by, that the size of the cumulative size of accessory buildings are not to be larger than the dwelling home, and that would not have been the case if this garage had been built.
Okay, so regulations are there. All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
6B, 6 to 8 Dove Place. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.3.1 of the town's development regulations, application number 4697 received on September 28, 2024 for a 29.7 square meter accessory building at 6 to 8 Dove Place be refused in consideration that the proposed location would not meet the minimum separation distances from the dwelling and side boundary. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, the location chosen by the resident was not acceptable, but there is room on the lot to put the accessory building elsewhere, so our staff are gone back to work with the resident.
Good, excellent. Any other comments? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6C, 13 Locks Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 6.7.1 and 10.11.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 4412 received July 19, 2024 for a home-based business that is a hair salon and barber shop at 13 Locks Road be approved, subject to development of additional off-street parking to accommodate customers. So move.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Mayor, for the next item, I'd have to declare conflict as this application is from my business.
D, 15 and 17 Maple Oak Path. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.121 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, application numbers 4622 and 4623 received on September 9th, 2024 to develop single dwellings at 15 and 17 Maple Oak Path be approved with variances to reduce the minimum lot frontage from 15 meters to approximately 13.7 meters for each lot. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
(6E) 71 Greensleeves Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with Council's discretionary authority provided by sections 4.6 and 8.7 of the town's development regulations, application number 3605 received on January 15, 2024 for the erection of a wall sign at 71 Greensleeves Road be approved on condition that the sign shall not be illuminated. So moved.
Seconder? Councillor Hardy, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship. In this case, the sign was put in place without permit, and now we're trying to bring it in compliance. the sign that was put there is one that's designed to be illuminated, but if it were to stay in that location, it would be illuminated at a residential property next door, and that goes against our regulations. So basically what we're saying is, yes, leave the sign where it is if you wish, but it is not to be illuminated.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Your worship, 6F, I have to declare a conflict of interest due to the fact that the application is near proximity to a piece of property which I own.
Thank you.
So 6F, 583 to 599 Conception Bay Highway, and 7 to 11 and 25 to 27 Butlers Road South. Be it so resolved that application number 4683 received on September 26, 2024 for clearing and grubbing at 583 to 599 Conception Bay Highway, 7 to 11 Butlers Road South, and 25 to 27 Butlers Road South be approved. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Goss? Any discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a development that's been ongoing for some time in the planning process, and now finally it's to the point now where we're prepared to give the developer permission to go ahead and start the grubbing process and therefore move on to the development of that property.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6G 961 to 963 Conception Bay Highway. Be it so resolved that in accordance with Section 15 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, proposed municipal plan amendment number 37 and development regulations amendment number 59 224 regarding 961 and 963 Conception Bay Highway be referred to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs to determine and comment on any provincial interests. So moved.
Okay, seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a property that's been used for multiple purposes in the past. The application now is for an oil change, drive-through oil change facility. It didn't fit the existing zoning. So what we're doing is, what the request is from the landowners is to rezone that property, both properties, from residential medium density to commercial general, which is the zone of a bunch of properties in that area. So this is, we've had public hearings, and now we're in the process of passing it off to the province to see if they have any concerns about it.
Yeah, they'll get a look at it now and see if they have any interest in this in any way. So, any other comments on this one? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6H, be it so resolved that the order issued on October 16, 2024, requiring the property owner to either repair or demolish the dilapidated building at 862 Conception Bay Highway be ratified. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler. Everybody wants to ratify that one, I guess. Any comments, Councillor Hilliard?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a former supermarket building across from Redbridge Road, and I know Councillor Tilley had some concerns about it earlier in the year. There was an accident there, young child, young teenager injured. So really what we've said to the property owner is you either got to repair that and bring it up to some standards or demolish it. And this is the first step. So actually I've got 2 or 3 orders coming up in a row, and really what's happened is those orders were sent out to property owners last week, and they're coming here tonight to be ratified. So the way this works, the order is sent out and then it has to be ratified at the next public meeting. So that's where we are with these tonight. So the property owner there would have received an order sometime last week, as would those that are coming to follow.
And we do that to get the process moving rather than waiting for a meeting that's sometimes maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road.
Right.
And we ratify them subsequently. Any other comments on that one? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6I, 128 Millers Road. Be it so resolved that the order issued on October 16, 2024, ordering the property owner at 128 to 130 Millers Road to obtain permits for occupancy of the dwelling and construction of 3 accessory buildings at the property be ratified. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6J, 139 Tilly's Road South. Be it so resolved that the orders issued on October 16, 2024, ordering the property owner and/or the occupant of 139 Tilly's Road South remove construction materials and commercial vehicles from the property be ratified. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And your worship, the final order, 6K, 25 Greslet Place. Be it so resolved that the order issued on October 16, 2024 regarding 25 Greslet Place, requiring that business operations at the property cease and that there be no exterior open storage or display of goods, materials, or equipment on the property be ratified. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
So, your worship, as we move forward, hopefully these properties will be brought into compliance, and sometime down the road, we'll see a motion come forward to lift the order on these properties, and that's when we celebrate and say, yes, job done.
Look forward to that.
Your worship, before we get to the blanket statement, just want to comment a little bit on our radon test program. You talked about this month being Radon Detection Month, Radon Awareness Month, and I know you've done a lot of work with the media in the past month talking about our situation, Conception Bay South, and the testing that we had done last year. So, as you're aware, we tested, had somewhere 120 results, and there were some high test results that were concerning. So we want to do some more testing to see where we sit and see if we can identify patches or if it's spread out through the town or what have you. So we've gone through the process. We've procured another 200 test kits, and we're about ready to put those out into the public. So they'll be available through a registration process from our website starting on November 7th at 10:30 in the morning. So really what it is, if it's the same as it was last year, and I'm assuming it will be, it was a little puck-shaped product that you will put in your home and forget about it until you get an email 3 months from now saying, what did you do with that puck? Find it and please send it in to us. And at that point in time, it'll give us some further data as to what our radon statistics look like. All right? And your worship, finally, our blanket statement, be it so resolved that decisions and discussions of the October 28, 2024 Planning and Development Committee meeting be approved. And there's a list of items there that we discussed that didn't require recommendations to come forward this evening. So moved. Seconder.
Councillor Hardy. Any discussion? I just want to say, and if folks want to go online and find out more about radon and access test kits, Take Action on Radon, which is an organization that's, I guess it's been Health Canada is involved with and so forth, and that's who we've been dealing with. We dealt with a year ago, and I'm very pleased that we were proactive back then. It seems to be getting a lot of attention this year, thankfully, and we get another 200 kits out there, but people can buy them at local stores, hardware stores and so forth. They can go online and buy them through Take Action on Radon and a number of other areas. So they are available in many places, and we're very pleased to be able to help people. Another 200 this year, so it's very good to do that.
Your worship, you talk about, we're looking forward to getting them out there. We're also looking forward to getting them back.
Yes.
That's
it.
the key part.
That's right. So it's like taking the reservation in Seinfeld. It's okay to apply for them, but you got to send them back, right? So, yes. Any other comments on that? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Hillier. We'll move on to recommendations of the Engineering and Public Works Committee, and the chair is Councillor Melissa Hardy.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a few items to bring forward this evening. 7A, approval to dispose of Fleet Unit 245 and 291. Be it so resolved that approval is given to dispose of Fleet Number 245 and 291, which has been replaced and removed from service. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion?
Just as the fleet age up, we have a loader that's actually from 2007 and one of our humane services cargo vans from 2014, which has now been upgraded to an EV. So certainly just transition out with the old and in with the new.
Excellent. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
7B, approval to proceed with Hibbs Row Building, Robert French Memorial Stadium paving. Be it so resolved that approval is given to engage in Modern Paving Limited at a cost of $125,000 plus HST for paving services on town properties. Funds to be taken from the account as noted. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Barrett, discussion?
You turned me off again. I didn't turn myself off, okay? Do I need to read out the blanket recommendation, the recommendation again?
No, just the comment.
Darren, can you stop turning me off, please? Hands off. So this motion bringing forward this evening is actually one of the few remaining public lots that we have that's not paved yet. So certainly going to take that opportunity and get it paved before the seasons close. And it's actually going to improve some of the day-to-day and some of the safety as well. So having the reduced maintenance and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's great to get that area done down there and improve that parking lot on the south side of the building. So,
Yeah.
Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
All right, so before I go ahead and read out our blanket recommendation, just a couple of things just to close out some of the capital projects. We have had a lot on the go this past year. So it's expected to have our new water and sewer systems under phase 49 turned over to the town and available for residents in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that's certainly going to be a nice accomplishment for this year, as well as all of the street paving and sidewalk locations are completed, with the exception of Terminal Road, which is expected to be completed in the next 2 weeks. And that particular intersection and traffic lights will be upgraded in the project, and that will actually incur in the 2025 delivery of the traffic lights and infrastructure. And residents can also start using the yard waste collection for the next 4 weeks, and it can be placed along the roadside with your recycling on collection day. So certainly encourage residents to avail of that, because I know we do have a lot of leaves and stuff in the neighborhood, so certainly.
And that's the brown bag
That is the brown
program, and
bags.
it has to be in brown bags and has to be out at that time. It can't be in clear bags, can't be
No.
in blue bags, brown bags.
Brown bags
Okay,
on your recycling collection days.
yeah, excellent, okay.
So I'll go ahead and read out our recommendations for our committee meeting. Be it so resolved that recommendations and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee held on October 30th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Okay, recommendations of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee, and the chair is Councillor Josh Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just the single blanket recommendation this evening, but before I do that, I did want to provide a couple of updates on a few opportunities for residents. Christmas is coming. Everybody's excited about that, I'm sure. And one of the exciting things that we do every year is our Santa Claus Parade. And so this year that's taking place on December 7th. And certainly if the weather is not appropriate, we'll do it the following day. But mark your calendars. And if you're a business group, person, any entity whatsoever that's interested in taking place in the parade, providing floats, we're accepting applications. So do visit our website. The deadline for that is November 20th. And if you have any questions at all, what might be suitable, what's not, do let us know. We'll be happy to assist you with that. I also want to let folks aware that we have started planning our Winterfest committee, our Winterfest activities already. We're seeking members for our Winterfest committee. So if you have a lot of community spirit, you want to have a say on some of the events that we're going to do between February 7th to the 14th, by all means, apply, be a part of these discussions. We'd love to have you. We're always looking for new and interesting ways to cater to the desires and interests of residents. So if you have any ideas, please sign up and check it out. The deadline for that is November 13th. And so as well, any questions of that, please do let our department know. We'll be happy to assist. So it's a good thing we're getting some new fleet and all those fun things, Deputy or Councillor Hurley. So on that note, let's move forward with the committee report. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee meeting of October 29th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hillier, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Barrett. And of course, from Recreation, we got our annual Guy Fawkes event. It's happening as we speak, right up at Nugent's Park, I believe, tonight. Sorry, I'm missing that. Nothing else going on in the world tonight either, but, you know, I don't know if Guy Fawkes night and whatever's happening south of the border have anything to do with each other, but probably not. But a bit of fun on the go this evening for sure, here and there. So thank you very much, Councillor Barrett. And next up, Deputy Mayor Goss, you have quite a list there of things to do, so financial and administrative services.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yep, we got a few there, not the whole alphabet, but a few there. So recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee. First item is donation request at Queen Elizabeth Regional High School. Be so resolved that approval be given for the donation of $250 to Queen Elizabeth Regional High School in support of their annual scholarship and awards program. Funds available as presented. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Butler, discussion?
This is the first of two of these awards we're bringing forward tonight for both of our high schools here in the community, and it's something we do annually.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And 9B, donation request for Holy Spirit High School. Be it so resolved that approval be given for the donation of $250 to Holy Spirit High School in support of their annual scholarship and awards program. Funds are available as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Next, item 9C, Economic Development Department Review. Be it so resolved that approval be given to engage Grant Thornton for an Economic Development Department review at a maximum cost of $57,000. Funds are available in the operating budget. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Barrett, discussion?
This is an opportunity to look at the department for maybe efficiencies, how we can maybe restructure, and something council's been wanting to do. So funds are available, and we're going to take advantage of this opportunity at this time.
And departmental reviews are something that we would do periodically anyway, and it's just
Absolutely.
time to do economic development. So we'll look forward to doing that and look forward to the outcomes.
For sure.
Any other comments? Yes, Councilor Barrett.
Yes, I just want to say I think it's natural we do this as well. We're recently launched the Advantage St. John's Initiative, and we're looking for synergies when it comes to those things. And certainly, we're at the infancy of that, but we're excited about what that might bring. And so I'm supportive of the town's desire to review this and identify ways that we can kind of move forward on this front.
Yep. Great add-on there, Councilor Barrett. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9D, Human Resources Economic Development Coordinator. Be it so resolved that Julia Bloomquist be appointed to a 6-month contractual position of the Economic Development Coordinator as per the terms of the employment contract. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councilor Hillier, discussion.
Sorry about that. We've had a vacancy in the department, and we're taking the opportunity to have this contract position to fill in some gaps and look after some things in the interim till this economic review is done of the review is done of the Economic Development Department.
And if I could, to welcome Julia Bloomquist with her background with the Conception Bay Area Chamber of Commerce and other activities, CVS Community Garden and so forth. We know her background fairly well for this sort of thing, so welcome her aboard. It's great to be able to offer that and onward and upward in economic development. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E, Accounts Payable Checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable checks totaling $728,021.21 as per the attached report. So moved.
We have a seconder. Councilor Connors, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9F, Manual Checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $77,779.31. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Hillier, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9G, Direct Payments Register. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify direct payments totaling $493,823.73. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Butler, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9H, Capital Invoice Approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to approve capital invoices totaling $2,903,715.71 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Connors, discussion.
Just payment for some ongoing projects and engineering and all that sort.
Got to pay the bills. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9J, oh no, that's I, sorry. Tax and other receivable adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivable accounts as presented. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councilor Hardy, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9J, Bell Tower Lease. Be it so resolved that approval be given to renew the lease with Bell Canada Telecommunications, Bell Canada Telecommunications Tower situated at 13 Graham Mifflin Drive. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Butler, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And the last one is the department report. Be it so resolved that the decisions and recommendations made at the Financial and Administrative Services Committee meeting of October 28th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Hillier, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Bent, that's it for
Yeah,
me.
good. You didn't get all the way through the alphabet, but almost halfway.
Close.
Yep. Recommendations of economic development and tourism. I don't believe there was a meeting this week. Councilor Butler and I believe you were away anyway, so we'll move on to other committee reports. And we have on the list this evening, the naming committee. And I believe Councilor Barrett, you're going to speak to this.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So it's myself, Councillor Tilley, and Councillor Moore is on the naming committee, and similar to Councillor Hillier, I suppose by default, I'll bring this motion forward this evening. Before I do, I don't know if we've really chatted about how these names come about, and kind of just an interesting exchange a few moments ago. Oftentimes when we have developers, they would propose names, ideas based on a pet or family name or whatever the case is. And certainly we need to run that name past emergency services to ensure that if there's a fire or whatever, there's no other confusing name that they could be at the other end of town responding to an emergency. And so that's kind of the process. And so the motion is for a community, a road called Fencer Place, and the name Fencer is actually maybe a bit fitting for some of the conversations we had this evening. It relates to the developer's father, who served on the HMS Fencer, which was the last ship that the developer's father served on during World War II. So HMS Fencer, and so based on that, they recommended Fencer Place. We did our searches, we worked with our fire departments, and that checks out. So all of which to say, I just want to provide some context on how we get to some of these interesting names at times. So having said all of that, 11A naming committee, this is based on an email vote that we did on October 22nd. Be it so resolved that Fencer Place be approved as the street name for the subdivision under construction at 135 to 137 Seal Cove Road. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councilor Hardy. Discussion? It's great to have an explanation as to the background of the name, because we have a lot of street names and road names here in Conception Bay South that not everybody will remember where they originally came from in places across the province. I've heard a great debate on where ghouls first came from, and I'm not sure we've had a definitive statement on it yet, but there's a number of views, but it's great to have background. Now it's on the record.
It's on the record.
Councilor Barrett, so
Mark my words.
if anybody ever wants to know.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
in favor of Fencer Place?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councilor Barrett.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything else to report from any of the committees that who sit on, other than the ones we've dealt with already this evening? Okay, barring that, we're up to the end of the meeting, so we'll be back here again in 2 weeks' time on November 19th. So thank you, everyone, for your efforts over the past couple of weeks, and we'll be back again then. So I'm asking for a motion to adjourn. Councilor Hardy, seconded by Councilor Barrett. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.